Hi, welcome to LMTV, Love My 2 video. Today we're visiting Xangati, a 2-year-old startup in Cupertino. They're actually been selected as one of the top 10 startup by InfoWorld, and if I understand it correctly, they've been shipping product for a year, so I look forward to listening to the presentation.
I'm President and CEO of Xangati. Xangati is a company based in Cupertino, California, and the Xangati product is about rapid problem identification, about finding problems very, very quickly inside of medium to large size IT infrastructures. And we do this by having very, very detailed and understanding and profiles for every element inside of your infrastructure. An element can be a client, a server, an application, a location, a network link. And by understanding these things, we can generally find problems wherever they exist across the IT infrastructure. So I'm going to spend about the next 10 minutes telling you a little bit about the Xangati product and how it works. And then I'm going to end by telling you about an exciting program that we have called 24/7, where in 24 hours we will provide 7 critical insights about your IT infrastructure. According to the Yankee Group, most IT organizations lose 35 days of productivity per year per employee due to poor application delivery. I think we all know that IT is no longer about plumbing. It's no longer about simply saying the lights are on and everything must be fine. That what we are about today is delivering applications to their consumers and doing it predictably and reliably. And the inability to do that is what leads to 35 days of lost productivity per employee in most large and medium-sized companies. Why is that? Well, it's certainly not because we haven't invested a lot in various tools and products that provide insight into our infrastructure. But the products that have been available to date are focused on silos. A silo could be a storage silo, a silo about user devices, networking, applications, security, servers, etc. And can give you very in-depth understanding of what's going on in a particular silo. The issue is that most problems that are hard to get, that are causing these 35 days of lost productivity a year, are problems that go across the silos. So what you may see is green lights in any particular silo. Gee, the network is up. Or the application server is up, yet a user is calling in with a problem, and that problem is real and exists. What we also find, and I think for much the same reasons, is that identifying the problem is the vast majority of the time spent and the money spent in repairing a problem. Generally, once we know what the problem is, fixing it is not the big issue. It's the diagnosis that's important. And in fact, that's where Xangati adds lots and lots of value, is in identifying problems and problem sources. And what we make is an appliance that installs very, very quickly and provides root cause for all server, client, application, network, and location problems. And as I mentioned earlier, problems that go across the silos as well. So I think that you've gotten the point. Xangati makes a product that unites IT with a silo-free approach and finds the really, really tough problems that IT is burdened with in delivering applications reliably to the application consumer. So we do this in a few different phases. The first thing we do is we discover every asset on the infrastructure. By every asset, I mean hardware assets like clients and servers. I mean application and software assets like applications, like SAP, and even applications that may not reside on your site, applications that you may be outsourcing as a service, such as Salesforce.com. We also find things that are related to the network and network infrastructure and identify them as well. So not only the network components, but all the links. And we group them in locations and categories that make sense. So the first thing we do is discover everything on your infrastructure. Now we find that when we install with most customers that consistently we find many things that they're not aware of. Not only numbers of things, but often types of things on their infrastructure they're not aware of. Types of clients that they may not know about, cameras that they may not know about, applications that they may not know about, and the relative usage of these things may be higher or lower than they expect. Once we find everything on the infrastructure, then we create an identity for each and every element. So not only do we find it, but we name it. And in cases where we don't know the name, we characterize it so that you as the operator can easily identify a name for that element. Once we know everything that's out there, what we begin to understand is the interrelationships, how these things relate to one another. So, what clients are related to what servers? What network links do they use? What clients relate to what clients? What applications are most common for which clients? What applications are most common across the entire infrastructure? What applications might be most common on a particular link? We understand the relationships between all of these elements. And once we understand those relationships, the next thing we do is we create a behavioral profile, again, for each one of those elements. And by behavioral profile, I don't mean we just answer the question, how much? How many bits are moving in and out? But we also answer questions that have to do with the relationships. Who is a particular endpoint or application dealing with? What is it doing? When is it active? Where is it? And of course, how much traffic does it create? And it's these relationships that really set our behavioral profile and Xangati apart from every other product on the market. And then, given our unique user interface, with very little training, an operator who may be anyone from somebody sitting at the help desk, to someone inside the network operations center, to someone in the applications group, or even in the CIO's office, can easily navigate through the infrastructure to understand what's going on. And we have this concept of making the center of the universe the element that you're interested in. So if you're in the application group and you're very interested in the delivery of email or SAP, you can make that application or a server the center of the universe and see everything that relates to that application or that server. If you're in the networking group, you may be more interested in a particular networking link or group of network links or locations, and understanding what the relationships are with those links or locations being your center of the universe. If you're in the help desk and you're getting a call from a client, you'll be very interested in the idea that we can effectively create a remote task manager, so that from the help desk you can reach out to any device on the infrastructure and see exactly what applications they're running, where are they, when are they most active, and not only in the present case, live, but also historically. Now you may think that a product like this would require days or maybe weeks or months of installation effort. The beauty of this product is because we take our primary information from flow information, like Cisco's NetFlow. The installation process is most often takes less than 1 hour. And we are generating insights in minutes of the time of our initial installation. So very, very quick installation, very, very rapid insight, and no significant impact on your infrastructure. This product is not only out of band, it can have no impact on your infrastructure whatsoever. And what sorts of things can we find? Well, really a universe of things. But if you find yourself in a situation where, you know, you get calls from a particular group that they can't get to SAP, or it's running more slowly than they would expect, we can find out what that's due to. In some cases, it may be something you think is completely unrelated, like an unscheduled backup happening in the middle of the day, using all the network bandwidth. You're having problems with your BlackBerry users. You know, first place you might look is the BlackBerry server in the network. It might be there, or it could be that you're being drowned out by virus updates happening at the same time. You know, your Citrix users are complaining about poor performance. You look at the servers, you look at network capacity, but find out that perhaps it's because your Citrix servers are not properly load balanced. And it's these sorts of insights that we can develop and for you in a very, very short period of time. And we have a new program that we're announcing on June 9th, which we call 24/7. We will provide you 7 critical insights about your infrastructure within 24 hours of starting our program. This is something that can be done with very, very little effort or hassle on your part, and can really have you see the benefit of Xangati and our product. So thank you very much for your time.